Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races, calling every lap, every slide job, every heart-stopping moment. And when he's not on the mic, well, we imagine him chasing snakes through the outback, boxing kangaroos, or just sitting under a gum tree with a cup of tea and some fairy bread with sprinkles. He's got the accent that keeps us guessing, the words that make us laugh, and the passion that makes him family, Bob. Tonight, this is your night. This one's for you. He's the man with the mic from the land of the sun, where the kangaroos jump and the wild runs. From the bush to the booth, he brought the heat, calling dirt track battles from seat to seat. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Fairy bread dreams and a slang so sweet, he'll make you laugh right out of your seat. Maybe boxing kangaroos or chasing snakes, but when he's on the mic, man, the earth shakes. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Every lap, every cheer, every turn in the night, you gave dirt track racing its soul, its light. Not just a friend, your family too. Bob, this song is just for you. Here's to Bob, yeah, the legend we know, calling every slide, every wild show, from the land down under to the Knucklehead crew. Bob, tonight we race for you. From all of us here at Knuckleheadz Racing, thank you for every lap, every word, and every year you've given us. This one's for you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races.
All right, BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. Another episode of Mud Mule TV coming your way. Helps if I turn the headset on. Had it on my head for about 5 minutes now and hadn't turned it on yet, but here we are. All right, for you today, it's the start of the racing week. Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks are, of course, up first. We're going to be racing the Dirt Street Stocks here at Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, USA. There it is. Let's just wait for the screen to pop up live. I've still got to fix that logo. It still has the Robert Surgical Dirt Street Stocks. Thanks for the like, Thomas. Appreciate you, man. They are currently in practice at the moment. We've got 17 drivers registered here today. We can see Chad Putterball, Jason Coffey, Dan Runkle, Jim Revis, who's a part of the who is Dirt Warrior Racing. He's the owner of the team, Chad Putterball's teammate. Travis McDonald, Mike Davis, Wayne Bridges, Mikey Mixter, Josh Roberts, Chris Peritis still here, back again. Welcome back, Chris. Brent Vanderwood, Mike Butler is back as part of the Yoda Outlaws. Brian Angel, Jonathan Foxworth, Kelly McKellen, and Tina Davis. Now, Yoda Outlaws, we know them as Brett Vanderwood, Mike Butler, and Brett Vanderwood. Mike Butler, Brett Vanderwood. No, there's a third. Who's the third? There's Brian Angel. Sorry, Brian Angel. But let me just check something, because I did hear some news. Is this it? It doesn't look like it's updated yet, but I learned that Yoda Outlaws have picked up a new driver. We'll let him announce that though. We'll wait and see if he's got any Yoda Outlaws stuff out on the track. Chad Putterball, quick time so far, 21.551, and literally as soon as I said that, the man himself, Dan Runkle, takes quick time with the 21.432. He's just recently returned to the R3 iRacing League as well. So a couple of returning drivers, a couple of new drivers. Just going to wait and see if this paint updates. There we go. It's the 000. I think it's meant to be a different car. Not sure. He was saying he was having some troubles with the paints. Looks like only about 2 more minutes before we get on over to qualifying and get some heat racing lined up. Who have you got here tonight, guys and girls? Who do you think is due to win? We just picked up an 18th entrant in to this race. Kent McLean has just registered. Yet to get out on the track, so we'll wait for him to get into the lobby. He might get in with enough time to get out there and do a lap or two, but Kent McLean has joined this race as our 18th participant. A couple of new viewers in the audience. Welcome in. This is the Knuckleheadz iRacing League's Racing Week. 5 races over 3 days. We're going to start off this day here, Sunday night in the States, Monday morning in in Australia. Sorry, we're starting an hour later as well. I didn't realise that daylight savings ended in the US, so in the United States. So yeah, all of our races starting an hour later than usual. But the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks, we're up first here with this one. This will be at Port Royal Speedway, the track. And then we're going to jump on over to the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. They'll be over at Huset Speedway. Tomorrow night, it will, of course, be the Wayneswood Arse Racing Series and the Schuler Racing Series. And then wrapping up the racing week with the Motorwear International Limited late models. All right, just 20 seconds to go before we kick on over to qualifying. All right, over to qualifying we go. There's the 22 Chris Standridge. Actually, let's give the paints a quick refresh, just in case. Okay, McLean, Chris Standridge, Johnson, Foxworth, Mike Butler. I think we saw Brian Angel out there, Kelly McKellen. There's Wayne Bridges. What's the logo coming up? Fix that. All right, looks like Chris Standridge 21.864 is our first official time on the board, but 21.859, just 5 thousandths of a second quicker. Jonathan Foxworth, Mikey Mixer and Brian Angel going to come in, and Mike Butler builds the top 5. Josh Roberts, thanks for the share, brother. Appreciate it. Good luck out there. Yet to put a time on the board. Chris Standridge will take back quick time with a 21.762. 21.859, Jonathan Foxworth. Mikey Mixer, 21.893. 21.914, Brian Angel. But Travis McDonald's going to slide into that top 3 with a 21.891. 2 thousandths of a second quicker than Mikey Mixer. Holy cow. Chad Puttable, 21.833, gets himself up into second spot. The B-main bandit, Jonathan Foxworth, slides back to third. So Kent did get the win last week, so he will have the rear of field. Our points leaders, Chris Standridge, by 2 points, so he'll take rear of field as well in the feature. So Kent McLean, Chris Standridge, currently the 2 EOLs in the feature, but Chris Standridge falling back to the pole position start in Heat 3. I was going to say Heat 2, but Josh Roberts, 21.735, moves up in the second spot. 21.708 is our current quick time. Chad Puttable, Jim Reece is here on debut. He is the boss man from Dirt Warrior Racing, Chad Puttable's teammate and owner, Flieger Farm TV in the YouTube chat. Let's go, Runkle. Brian Angel Senior, welcome. Chris Standridge, Yoda Outlaws. It is official. I didn't want to be the one to say it. I was trying to allude to it and see if we could get to it. But yeah, Chris Standridge has joined Yoda Outlaws. Yoda Outlaws running 4 members in tonight's race. Brian Angel, Brent Vanderwood, Mike Butler, and Chris Standridge is the 4th Yoda Outlaws driver. That is a big pickup, that one. So Chris's first night as a Yoda Outlaw driver will be second heat. All right, look out. We've got Dirt Warrior Racing at 1 and 2. Chad Puttable and Jim Reece on that front row. Mikey Mixture and Dan Runkle on that second row, and Kent McLean and Brett Vanderwood will be on that third and final row. 3 6-car heats to come. Let's get ourselves set up. Brian Angel, thank you for the like and the share also, brother. Chris Standridge in the chat. Woo, congratulations, Chris. Big get. I'm not sure who's luckier, Yoda Outlaws or you, but that is a good get. That is, I do like to see that. Of a long straightaway, not as long as USA International Speedway, but still pretty long. Cuts in Vicky Schuler on YouTube. Oh boy, this should be good. It is going to be good. We've got back to two Dirt Warrior Racing drivers on the track. Jim Reece, I'm pretty certain I've raced with him in the past in some hosted races and things like that. Very accomplished dirt street stock driver. But I have to start behind 17 other cars. Yep. Well, it depends on which order. So does it go winner of the previous race is second last, and then the points leader is last, or is the points leader second last and the winner of the previous race last? Like, you could sort of argue that, and then you only have to start behind 16 cars, Cruz. Pace Trucks left the track, coming into 4. We're going to get our first of 3 heat races underway. 5 lap, 6 car heat races. This is the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks Port Royal Speedway. Let's get it on. They are almost 4 wide there. 3 wide for second, I would almost certainly say, for a point there. It is Chad Puttable, Jim Rivers, Mikey Mixter, and Ken McLean down low. Dan Runkle up high above Jim Rivers between the wall and the car. I might give Dan a bit of a run if he's commits to it. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Little bit of contact. That is going to upset that run. Very competitive field. Heat 1, generally not competitive, follow the leader, but we're seeing a bit of midfield action here. They are very tightly packed, just 1.3 seconds, 1.4 separates first and sixth. Still Dirt Warrior Racing, the 1 and 2. And Dan Runkle for FFM. Dan Runkle in third, Mikey Mixter, Ken McLean and Brett Vanderwood fourth, fifth and sixth so far. Jim can keep that car a little bit wider than he needs to, than it is. Then that'll prevent Dan from getting that nose between the car and the wall. Like I say, if he can and he can commit to it, he will get the momentum run. But just a lap remains once we come past the start-finish line. White flag out. Jim is successfully going to run block here. Teammate Chad Puttable is going to score the feature start in tonight's Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks race. As we come into 3 and 4 for that last time. It is going to be the DWR 1, 2. Dan Runkle third. Let's get the official results up on the screen. All right, heat 1 for the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks. Brett Vanderwood, Fiat Outlaws in 6th. BAM Motorsports, Kent McLean in 5th. Mikey Mixter 4th. FFM driver Dan Runkle starts our podium finish. DWR Dirt Warrior Racing's Jim Rivers in 2nd. His teammate Chad Puttable will score the win in heat 1 and the feature start in the main event. That's what you want. That's the way to get it going. Heat 2, though, is going to start alongside him. Josh Roberts and Jonathan Foxworth will be on the front row of Heat 2. Second row is going to be Brian Angel and Mike Davis. Third row is going to be Jason Coffey and Kelly McKellen. Same deal, 6 cars, 5 laps. Kelly McKellen, thank you for the share. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, we're in a start camp, Bob. There we go. More time around the track. We'll get this heat 2 underway. Thomas Dennis, hello, Bob. How are you, mate? I'm good. Caught a little off guard today by the daylight savings ending in the States for you guys. Obviously, it's just started for us in Australia, so the race is all starting an hour later. I sat down to get ready. It was about 10:30 my time, and everything said 11:30, 12:30. I was like, wait, what? I had to look it up, and yeah, sure enough, that was the thing. So that, I think I'm a little bit more awake than usual because of that, which is probably a good thing. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Another racing week ahead of us. Pace Trucks left the track. Heat 2 is about to start. We're about to find out who's going to start alongside Chad Puttable on the front row of our feature race here tonight. Green flag. Off we go, racing. Bit of a wide can, that one. Josh Roberts, though, race leader, looking to want to continue his run up the championship board. The B-Main Bandit, Jonathan Foxworth. Oh, looks like he got turned around a little bit. I don't know if he got loose or if Brian Angel got into him, but Brian Angel also pulled off of the formation, so I feel like he might have been a part of that. Let's just go back and have another look. See if we can see there. Was it contact or was it just too much angle for Jonathan? Yeah, that's contact. That is contact. A little bit of net code, I reckon, as well. But definitely racing incident. First caution of the night. How are you, brother? How are you, Thomas? Doing good? How well do you adjust with daylight savings? I find I don't adjust well to the start, but the ending's much easier to adjust to because you just sort of get that extra hour. Oh, Jonathan in the pits still. Dan in the chat, though. Dang, this car feels fast tonight. Sorry to Jim for that contact in Heat 1. The Heat 1 was a surprise in that I did not expect it to be as racy. Like I sound like a broken record with Heat 1s. It is pretty much just follow the leader. But yeah, that was a hell of a racy deal. Second, third, fourth, even fifth. It was very, very close racing. All right, looks like we've got to get this one going. It's going to be a green, white, checkered finish in a lap. Looks like Jonathan Foxworth getting out onto the field again. Chris Parada liking the broadcast. Thank you. I hope I'm saying your name correctly also, Chris. 3 or 4 races in and you're settling in nicely. Welcome to the crew. Right, they extended this one to get. I think they might have extended this one here to get. To get Jonathan Foxworth back on the lead lap there, and he's actually going to be up in front of Brian Angel. That would be because Brian Angel actually caused the turnaround as we get this one restarted. Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, Jason Coffey, Jonathan Foxworth, Kelly McCullum, Brian Angel. Green, white, checkered finish. Extended out to 7 laps. Race leader, there's Mad Dog in a second. Oh, Jason Coffey, and I think that was Jonathan Foxworth. Yeah, coming to big contact. Jason Coffey looking good in second, and having that contact come in as we get the checkered flag. We'll go back and have a look at that incident because no yellow from it. And then we'll quickly get to the results. But let's just have a look there. Oh, sorry, running in third was Jason Coffey, not second. Michael Mad Dog Davis up there. Just a little bit of contact. Just one car coming up, the other one coming down to the middle. Meeting it right there. All right. Looks like Jason Coffey might have called it actually on that one. Anthony Morano in the chat. Anthony, how the frick you been, brother? This guy's looking for a league on Sunday nights. How's your iRating? All right, let's get to our Heat 2 results as they start to grid up for our third and final heat for the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks for the Knuckleheadz iRacing League. The RCI's Jason Coffey in 6B Main Bandit. Jonathan Fox was finished 5th. Modig Mafia's Kelly McKellen 4th. Yoda Outlaws Brian Angel 3rd. Modig Mafia teammate Mike Davis in 2nd. But J&J Motorsports driver Josh Roberts gets the outside podium front row start in the feature with his Heat 2 win. Heat 3, though, is about to start, so we really should get this grid out of the way. Chris Standridge, it does say Outcast, but he's the newest Yoda Outlaw driver. Travis McDonald alongside him. Mike Butler, teammate to Chris Standridge and Chris Perrotta on that second row. Wayne Bridges and Tina Davis will be on that third and final row. How you been, Chris? Chris, how you been, Anthony? It has been a while. Anthony used to race with the boys here, but just due to just getting good and getting a little bit better than, well, not getting a little bit better, but just getting really good, meant that he sort of raced himself out of the division and went on to some other competitions, and was doing quite well from what I remember seeing. But dude, I've missed you, man. It's been a long time. All right, Heat 3 is underway. Sip chat play in the chat. I wish I could do my shout outs, don't work at the moment. Sorry, Dr. Laz. Sip chat play in the chat. Definitely follow him on Twitch. Variety streamer, comedian, author, actor, lover. Just man of the people. Check him out. Sip chat play. Dr. Laz and Rockstar. Two of the most best people you could ever meet. All right, Heat 3, sorry. Last of the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stock Heat Racing, Knuckleheadz iRacing, Elites Racing a week. 5 races over 3 nights. Exclusively live on BobbethTV, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Travis McDonald, our race leader. Chris Standridge in second. Mike Butler, currently third. Wayne Bridges, Chris Perrotta, Tina Davis, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Right up into that wall there. The boys trying to find as much speed on this track as they can. 1 and 2, Travis McDonald, Chris Standridge, they seem to have broken away a little bit here. The race is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spots. Mike Butler, Wayne Bridges, Chris Perrotta, Tina Davis just back there as well. There we have our heat races for the street stocks done and dusted. We'll get to our official results, but Travis McDonald will pick up the 3rd and final heat victory. We'll join Chad Puttable and Josh Roberts as our winners here tonight. Tina Davis will finish in 6th. 5th place was Chris Perrotta. Wayne Bridges in 4th. Yoda Outlaws, Mike Butler in 3rd. Yoda Outlaws, Chris Standridge in 2nd. But T-Mac, Travis McDonald will take out, as I say, the Heat 3 victory. Let's get to the grid for our feature race here. We know that Chris Standridge and Kent McLean will go to the rear of field. So it's going to be Chad Puttable and Josh Roberts front row. Travis McDonald and Jim Revis on that 2nd row. Mike Davis and Brian Angel on that 3rd and final row. This is going to get tricky because the orders now. Dan Runkle, Mikey Mixter on that 4th row. 5th row, Mike Butler and Wayne Bridges. Kelly McKellen. And Jonathan Foxworth, 6th row. 7th row, Kent McLean and Brett Vanderwood. No, sorry, Chris Perrotta and Brett Vanderwood. Jason Coffey, Tina Davis. And then Kent McLean and Chris Standridge, I believe. I think I got that all out. All right, as we get ready to pace around to start this race, I just have to grab that quick phone call. My daughter was ringing me. Let me just give her a quick call back, and I'll be back with you in a moment. right. The 20 and the 57, says Thomas Dennis in the chat. That is, of course, our pole position starter and our fourth spot. So second row outside. Pole, Chad Putabol and Jim Reece. Dirt Warrior Racing. It's been a while since we've had the two drivers on the screen at once, the Dirt Warrior Racing crew. So Jim Rivers stepping up and giving this league a bit of a try as we get our 35-lap main event underway. Excuse moi. So Chad and Josh Roberts up high with Jim Rivers right behind him. Travis McDonald's the sole. I was going to say the sole load car, but you can see Mike Davis and Dan Runkle 6th and 7th back there on that low line as well. Everyone else though seems to be running that highlight. A little bit of contact from Mike Mixer and Dan Runkle. Nothing crazy. Going to keep this one alive. Travis really making that low line work for himself, trying to keep as little of that track distance to cover as possible. It does look like that momentum build is a little bit quicker though with Josh, Chad and Jim. Runkle Family Farm in the chat. Where would go Dan Runkle? Is where is Dan? Just inside the top 10, currently 9th. He's racing in front of Jonathan Foxworth, trying to catch up to the 8th place Wayne Bridges. So see them just back there behind the transparent leaderboard on the top left of your screen a second ago. Looks like Josh Roberts has been forced down the line a little bit there. Jim Rivers still up on that high line behind teammate Chad Putabol. But Josh uncharacteristically down below him. Looks like he might have slotted in behind him actually there. He has. He wanted that high line. He was like, no, I have to concede 3rd spot. Chris McDonald though really just trying to get that in. I don't know if he's just persevering for something a bit later in the race or what Travis is doing, but sitting in that 4th position, but running that solo line down low. Don't want to say it, but 9 laps in, we're over a 5th of the way into this battle here at Port Royal Speedway. This is the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks. We've got Wayne Bridges and Mike Butler side by side there. That looked very cool. Christian Ridge back there behind him, Mike Butler's teammate. I was going to say. I think it's just impressive how this green flag can run. Chad Putabol, Jim Reeve still 1 and 2. Josh Roberts, Travis McDonald 3rd and 4th. Ryan Angel 5th. Mikey Mixter, Mike Davis, Jonathan Foxworth, Dan Runkle, Mike Butler 6 to 10. 11 to 15 is Wayne Bridges, Chris Dandridge, Brett Vanderwood, Chris Perotto, Tina Davis 16 to 18 though. Kellen McKellen, Jason Coffey and Kent McLean. 79, that's Tina Davis down low. Ken McLean, Jason Coffey all becoming lap traffic as this battle rages on. That top four still pretty tightly packed. Chad Puttable, Jim Reece, Josh Roberts, Travis McDonald, less than a second, less than 6/7 between them there. Coming up on was Chris Perotta maybe, or Kelly McKellen. Kelly McKellen, I think it is. Yeah, the 48. Lab traffic. Or the 29, Jonathan Foxwood, just getting a bit caught up in the wall there. Basically the halfway mark. 18 race cars on the track here at Port Royal Speedway. The Knuckleheadz iRacing League's Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks. This one has been a doozy. I think we might have just brought out our first caution there. One of those cars hit that wall hard. Looks like it was Josh Roberts maybe falling back down through the field. Haven't seen the yellow flag yet. There it is. Let's see if we can go back through the telemetry and confirm who that was. Would have actually been Kelly McKellen and Jason Coffey. Let's have a look at this marker. Bit of contact there, but was the replay cams on some other weird camera, or? Try that again. The 107, just getting up into the wall a little bit there. 48. Here they come. And yeah, a little bit of net coat caused the actual contact, but then there's actual contact from it. And that, there we go. That is what has brought out our latest caution. Well, our first caution for the feature. In fact, halfway mark, sort of a mid-card reset. Probably DWR, the only guys not happy with this one. First caution of the feature race, just the one in the second heat, as well as the pace truck leaves the track. We're going to get this one going. Brian Angel, no, sorry, Chad Puttable and Jim Reece on that front row. Travis McDonald, Jonathan Foxworth second, third row, Mikey Mixture, Chris Dandridge. Fourth's going to be Chris Potter and Micah Davis. Fifth row, Wayne Bridges, Ken McLean, Kelly McKellen and Tina Davis. On that sixth row, seventh row is going to be Brent Vanwood, Mike Butler, Jason Coffey and Dan Runkle. On that eighth row, ninth row will be Josh Roberts and Brian Angel. Lap 18 of 35 underway. Jim Reece, I think, was leading this restart for a period there, and Chad tried to take him on. Looks like Travis, if Travis can move up into that high line, he does. He is going to push Chad back to third. He's going to move up into second. Mikey Mixter and Mad Dog Mike Davis, among others, down low. Of course, there's that Wayne Bridges, Kent McLean down low as well there. The 99 to 75, good view from the 29's left window there. He's currently in sixth place, Jonathan Foxworth. second caution of the feature out. This one looks like it is going to be, looks like Tender Davis. Let's have a quick look. As we get our replay cam there, the 79. Just got caught up in that slick, wasn't able to set properly. Was able to avoid any contact with the wall or another car, but necessarily for caution to come out to reset this start. Going to be lap 24 of 35. Still got one more race to go this evening. It's going to be the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. They're at Huset Speedway. Broadcast an hour later for everyone else outside of the US. The United States finished their daylight savings run this weekend, but because this league is a US-based league, it does start an hour later than usual for me now. So there's usually 3 starting times for me when we're both not on daylight savings time. 9:30 in the morning, 10:30 is the usual time, and then 11:30 starting time when I'm on daylight savings and the US is not. So it can get a bit confusing to try and remember it. All right, lap 23 of 35. Just 12 laps remain as we get this one back underway. Travis McDonald. Oh, no, we don't. There has been a big crash. Looks like the 29, not quite sure who else. They've kept it green, though. Maybe... Oh, no, there we go. I was going to say the yellow flag hadn't come out. We know Jonathan at Foxworth was definitely a part of that one. 29 car. Looks like Dan Runkle, unfortunately, might have been the other car. A little bit of contact up the front there. It looks like Josh Roberts and someone. It seemed like that was the accordion effect. Oh, no, there it is there. The 29 got up into the wall, the 000. Dan Runkle getting caught up with him. All right, here we go. Got to get this one back underway. Looks like a single file restart with Jim Reece. Let's have a look at Jim Reece, Charles McDonald, Mikey, Mr. Mike Davis, Chad Potter by the 5, Ken McLean, Wayne Bridges, Chris Andrews, Chris Perotta, Brett Vander with the 10. 11 to 15 is Kelly McKellen, Josh Roberts, Brian Angel, Mike Butler, Jason Coffey. 16 to 18, Jonathan Foxworth, Dan Runkle, and Tina Davis as we get this one back underway. Oh, I went back to a couple of races too. Well, the steady cams here aren't too bad. They're quite nice. (27 of 35 in this race is still well alive. Jim Reece on a debut. Here tonight is our race leader with Travis McDonald, Mike Mixter, Mike Davis, Kent McLean, the 5. Former race leader Chad Putterbowl has just fallen outside the 5. He is back there in the 6th place. Chad Putterbowl, Chris Standridge, Wayne Bridges, Brett Vanderwood, Kelly McKellen, Josh Ross, Mike Butler, Brian Angel, Jonathan Foxworth, Chris Perotta, Dan Runkle, Jason Coffey, Tina Davis. It's going to be 5 to go at the end of this lap. Going stages of our first 2 races here tonight. This is the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks at Port Royal Speedway. We've still got the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds up next. They'll be Huset Speedway. Find that the dirt street stocks usually are more than capable of pulling drivers out of the woodworks. Bringing back, we've had Jason Coffey, recent return, Dan Runkle. Well, I don't know if it's the street stocks, but he's a recent return of a Chris Potter new debut. Jim Reece is a member of Dirt Warrior Racing, but he's new with the league. So it's good to see that the numbers still increasing, but the competition is just getting harder, not worse, or people taking time to sort of acclimatise to the style of racing, but settling in quite well. Oh, we've only got a few laps left. We're going to get up to the lead, and give Jim Reece his flowers. But Travis McDonald, a little bit of contact there in the rear as he comes along the high line. He might have a little bit of momentum there. Mike Davis down low in 3rd spot. This is going to be a run to the finish. We're going to have a close finish here. That momentum build, is it going to be enough? Jim not really leaving enough of that door open for Travis. He's going to try that mini slider line, but I think that might have given Travis a bit of a run there. Let's see. Travis looks like he's officially there. Still a little bit of door-to-door stuff. They're not letting each other have this one without really working for it here. White flag lap. There will be a finish. Jim Reece has the race lead there. Travis McDonald looks like that high line has failed him. Oh no! Looks like something else failed him there as he crashed. Or was that just after the checkered flag? It was just after. Oh my god! I was too busy watching the relative. As our first feature comes to a finish. Congratulations, Dirt Warrior Racing's Jim Reece. Reece. I know which one it is. We'll ask him. I reckon it's Reece. as we wait for our feature results to come up. Still need to do that. Now I've lost my screen. Okay, give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. The joys of having multiple screens. There it is. Okay, results. Feature. All right, 18 car field. So I'm going to need to scroll down, I think, for the results on this one. No, we can get all 18 on the screen. Chris Pryor finishing in 18th, Tina Davis 17th, Modiggy Murphy's Kelly McKellen in 16th, 15th was the B-Main Bandit, Jonathan Foxworth, Yoda Outlaws driver Brian Angel in 14th, RCI's Jesse Coffey finished in 13th, Dan Runkle in 12th, J&J Motorsports Josh Roberts in 11th, Yoda Outlaws teammates Mike Butler and Brett Vanderwood 10th and 9th, Wayne Bridges 8th, Mikey Mixter 7th, Yoda Outlaws newest driver Chris Standridge just outside that top 5 in 6th. Their top 5, though, Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Puttable in 5th. Bam Motorsports driver Kent McLean in 4th. Modiggy Murphy's Mike Davis 3rd. Travis McDonald 2nd. But on debut, Dirt Warrior Racing teammate Jim Rivas gets the victory. Let's get Jim's deets up. Let's see if he's in the Discord and see if we can't get a quick chat with him before we run on over to the UMP mods. All right, here we go. So let's see. Started off a couple of rows back. I think you were outside pole, second row. So fourth position start for you, Jim. Firstly, welcome to the league and to the competition. You've settled in pretty much within the first few laps. Welcome. And I just want to quickly verify, I believe, not that we know each other, but I believe we've raced with each other. Do you used to race or race a lot of dirt street stock hosted races, competitions, things like that? Oh, wow. So we've had more of a relationship than I've remembered. I'm pretty sure we used to race, like, I'm not sure if is it KC Floyd or JC Floyd. There's a bunch of names I've been trying to remember all broadcasts that are in these, always in the same hosted races. And I'm sure you're always one of the guys that, like, there was always a group of guys that were I won't say loved, but were always sort of respected enough to be, oh crap, he's in the race, or we know we've got to beat him. And I know you seem to always be one of those sorts. Just that your name just seemed familiar in that respect. It might have been would it be something to do with Brian Taft? Holy shit. I'm trying to think. Yeah. You've clearly, yeah. Like I feel like I'm still only a couple of years into my iRacing thing, but some of my memories, some of my Facebook friends, reminders of 5 to 6 years old now. So yeah, so I feel like it's what I'm thinking was a year or two ago is almost half a decade ago. So it's been a long time, and yeah, sort of people come and go, and yeah, like it's crazy how the paths cross. I remember, and I'm struggling. I feel bad because he's such a good guy, and I'm struggling to remember your other Dirt Warrior Racing driver that used to race here, and I really got along with him really well. He was a great guy. But I remember the first time he mentioned a couple of the sponsor names, and then said Brian Taft, and I was just like, "What? You know, Brian?" Like, because Brian's like he's just part of my introduction to iRacing. Yeah, it's so crazy how all these paths. Yeah, he's a good get out of the original Mud Mule. So Mud Mule TV sort of was born out of the Mud Mule Racing group, and Brian he's a founding member of that, and probably one of the only few of me and him and a couple of others in that group. Brooks Trammell was the other that would race street stocks. A lot of the other guys would like nah limiteds, at a minimum. And no, I'm so glad to see that he sort of took that, I mean, he did, not to turn it into a him interview as well, but BCR Sim Products as well. Like he's really another guy that I've known for quite some time. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, what a small bloody world this racing sim is. So yeah, congratulations. Is it just the street stocks we'll be seeing you in with the competition here with Knuckleheadz? You're going to give the UMPs a bit of a run, the Schuler Racing Series. Yeah, he's good like that, isn't he?
Me into it, and I told him, I said, dude, I haven't ran those things in probably 2 years. So I don't know if I'm going to make it in there or not. I just, I don't want to be the, yep, that's that guy. That guy's the one that caused that. That guy did this, that, yeah, I don't like being that guy.
No, and look, that's the thing. And I was mentioning that during the broadcast. It's like sort of we'll count you as a debut here with Knuckleheadz. Chris Pryor, he's on, I think his third or fourth race. Tina Davis, she's an ex-wife of one of our drivers who's just sort of become a bit more full time in the series. Who else we got? Jason Coffey's another one that's just returning. It's crazy. Like you see it all the time. You can't get 100% of that track to sync. Everyone, there's always a little bit of a disconnect. But tonight, like Port Royal, that you guys put on such an amazing race from like the first heat all the way through. Um, just everyone sort of like there was door to door action. I mean, like you and Travis, I have not seen some fun, hard dirt street stock racing up the front like that in a long time. One of the things that this competition is not really known for is its over competitiveness. That desire to win at all costs. But watching you two just like make your cars, half a foot wider than they normally would be, or just trying to run those slider lines and block those runs. It was insane how it was like you two have been racing each other for forever.
I've raced with Travis a few
Oh,
times.
there you
He's raced
go.
our league. He's raced our league a couple times, DWRL,
Yep.
and he always great driver, always respectful. Man, I gotta say that to everybody in here. They was all welcome with open arms, and sounds like a great group of guys. And I really think I'm gonna enjoy it here.
No,
You don't hear the bickering and well, you did this to me, I did that to you, blah blah blah, you suck, all that shit. You
yep,
don't, you
yep,
don't hear that, and
yep.
that's what I'm here to race for.
Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if not all 18 drivers weren't in that voice chat tonight. With the exception if you're like sort of doing a bit of team-based stuff or whatever, things like that. But I can safely, I've broadcast a lot of different competitions, and I know for a fact that I can jump into that channel at any point in the race without announcement and know that there's nothing there that I've got to sort of mute before I go in to make sure that and it's all left out on the track rather than sort of use your words. You guys use your car to talk in that respect, and that's what I love. I always say it every week, and I probably shouldn't because I get paid to do this a bit. I have the easiest job in the bloody world. I get to sit here and just put you guys out there. You're doing all that work, putting on all that great show. But we just know that whether it's a new driver coming into the league or if it's just a bunch of seasoned drivers that are battled in this competition continuously, um, it's I could just put a broadcast on and just walk away and know that whatever goes out there is going to be good stuff. It's just that's how good you guys are and how well everyone gels. So no, I'm really hoping that Chad put the word on him, put the word on Jim, get him to race a bit more with us. I know he can be quite persuasive. So yeah, I'd love to have you on the
Oh
screens
yeah, yeah,
again
yeah.
and some more, man.
By the way, that was back in January, February, March, April 5th of 2022.
April, so over 3 years ago. Holy crap!
Yeah, when I sent you that logo, because I sent you a message that my name's pronounced Revis, not
Revis,
Revis.
Revis, and I've been doing that all night again, going Revis. I even said Revis. I went, no, it's going to be Revis. I'm going to go with Revis. Holy crap! Oh my gosh! And that's what I mean. Like it's such a small world.
Like I said, I've been around a while.
I'm just trying to find. Would you have sent me that message on Discord or Facebook?
In Discord,
In Discord, I'll have to have a
four
look.
five twenty two at 7:14 a.m.
Oh, actually, I should just be able to just click on you here and go message. Oh my God. Why am I not
Tell me.
using that? I'm going to start using that again if you don't mind. You don't mind if I bring that back out?
No,
Or
no, that's up to you, buddy. That's why I put in there.
that's awesome.
I said, feel free to use it. Hell, I get bored and just start messing around in Photoshop and end up making different stuff.
No, that's awesome. That is great. Wow. There you go. That's well, don't feel bad if you're watching, guys, and you're like, yeah, man, I messaged Bob about 3 years ago and he didn't reply to me either. Then no, I did reply to that message. I just it didn't go anywhere with the usage. No, that's awesome. All right, well, look, I could sit here and talk to you all
Yeah,
day.
me
I
too.
to you guys. Like, Chris, I think we need to bring back the Bob Show on the weekends. We used to do it. Me and Chris Standridge used to do a podcast where we would talk to the iRacing driver, like a different iRacing driver each week, and just sort of get a bit of know about them and some, their racing history, their real life racing history, things like that. I feel like I need to get that going again. I think there's still some stories left untold out there, especially with some of you guys. But before we let you go, Jim, and look, welcome to the screens. And as I say, I hope we can have you back on our screens as many times as we can possible. Get onto it, chat. Before we let you go, a team, friends, family, sponsors go into making this possible. Who's on the list? Who do you need to give a shout out to?
Uh, well, first and foremost, man, I gotta give a shout out to all the Knucklehead guys for giving me a chance to come out, run with their league and everything. A great group from what I've seen so far. So that's got to be my first shout out. And next, I got my whole team, DWR, uh, been around since about 2002 during DTR 2 days. iRacing iFlag, Viz Retail Liquor, I give her a shout out. Grumpy Graphics, Dirt Pandas, of course, gotta give them a shout out. SwingingDirt.com and School of Racing Graphics. And like I said, these guys were putting the show on. Great show. I enjoyed it. Don't necessarily like Port Royal, but it was a good show.
It is.
And of course, you, Bob, man, for the awesome broadcast.
Nah, it's my pleasure, my man. As I say, easiest job in the world. I just get to sit here and, yeah, watch and call some awesome racing. And with that in mind, we're going to move on to the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. It's going to head on over to Huset Speedway. So we won't see you out on the track for that one?
I don't know yet.
No.
I'm sitting here up in the air about it.
Well, it's 4 minutes, I think either 9 or 4 minutes of practice. I can never remember if it's 10 or 15, and then a little bit of qualifying. So if we don't see you on the screens, my man, hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday night for the next week's round of the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks and do it all over again. We'll have you back in the booth anytime you can. Obviously, that part is entirely up to you, but nice talking to you again, man.
You too, Bob. We'll talk to you later, man.
We'll talk soon. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Bye. All right, that's Jim Revis from Dirt Warrior Racing, our winner here tonight. All right, we're just going to click on over to the interlude screen, and we'll get the UMP Modified practice up and continue the broadcast. We'll be back soon, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races, calling every lap, every slide job, every heart-stopping moment. And when he's not on the mic, well, we imagine him chasing snakes through the outback, boxing kangaroos, or just sitting under a gum tree with a cup of tea and some fairy bread with sprinkles. He's got the accent that keeps us guessing, the words that make us laugh, and the passion that makes him family, Bob. Tonight, this is your night. This one's for you. He's the man with the mic from the land of the sun, where the kangaroos jump and the wild runs. From the bush to the booth, he brought the heat, calling dirt track battles from seat to seat. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight make you laugh right out of your seat. Maybe boxing kangaroos or chasing snakes, but when he's on the mic, man, the earth shakes. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Every lap, every cheer, every turn in the night, you gave dirt track racing its soul, its light. Not just a friend, your family too. Bob, this song is just for you. Here's to Bob, yeah, the legend we know, calling every slide, every wild show, from the land down under to the Knucklehead crew. Bob, tonight we race for you. Bob, from all of us here at Knuckleheadz Racing, thank you for every lap, every word, and every year you've given us. This one's for you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz Racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob, or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races, calling every lap, every slide job, every heart-stopping moment. And when he's not on the mic, well, we imagine him chasing snakes through the outback, boxing kangaroos, or just sitting under a gum tree with a cup of tea and some fairy bread with sprinkles. He's got the accent that keeps us guessing, the words that make us laugh, and the passion that makes him family, Bob. Tonight, this is your night. This one's for you. He's the man with the mic from the land of the sun, where the kangaroos jump and the wild runs from the...
All right, we are back for our second of two races. Let's get on the practice session. We're here at Huset Speedway for the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds, UMP Modifieds here at Huset Speedway in Brandon, USA. Race crew, Bob. Good times going. All right, I'm just going to take a short break. Just grab my drink and stuff like that. Broadcast will resume shortly. right, we are back. Wrapping up practice, Chad Pudwell 12.499. Quick time, Brian Angel and Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis and Chris Dandridge, the top 5. 3 go to Outlaws. Drivers in that top 3 there, top 5, sorry. Kent McLean, Josh Roberts, Wayne Bridges, Mike Mixon, Jason Coffey, the top 10. 11 to 16, Kelly McKellen, Travis McDonald, Jim Revis, Jonathan Foxworth, Chris Prada, and Tina Davis. So we only lost 2 drivers from the previous race. As we head on over to qualifying, Josh, thank you for the like, brother. Good luck out there. Standard quick time 13.332, 13.345 for Jim at Revis. Josh Roberts, Mikey Mixter, Cam McLean coming in as well. Mikey Mixter's going to jump up into second quickest with a 13.337. Chris Parada with a 13.329. There is 13.307, Travis McDonald. These times are just getting quick. Second to fourth, there is 8 thousandths of a second. That is crazy. Chad Putterball moves up into second, 13.327, 13.329, 332, 337, 345. Oh my God, that midfield is first and second in all 3 heats is going to be crazy. We've got one driver who hasn't qualified. Jason Coffey, the 107 machine. Those you just tuning in, this is Mud Mule TV, courtesy of BobbethTV, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Knuckleheadz iRacing League's 5 races over 3 nights of action. This is our first night. We started off with the recent Monument Dirt Street Stocks. Congratulations to Jim at Ravis for winning that race. Now we've got the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Travis McDonald and Chad Pudwell, Chris Prada. They are the first 3 drivers with the pole position starts in their heats with their chance to solidify a good start in the feature. Something amiss to do, though, is to have a look at who won last week and who is leader in points, because the winner and the points leader go to the rear of field in the feature competition. And that will be Kent McLean, along with Dawson Potter got his first league win last week in this competition, but unfortunately not here this week to defend it. We will have a different winner. All right, let's get to the grid of Heat 1, sorry. All right, Travis McDonald and Chris Dandridge on that front row. Josh Roberts and Brett Vanderwood, second row. Mike Davis and Jason Coffey will be that third and final row. at 6 laps. A little bit of a shorter straightaway. Similar, longer, big turns compared to our previous race, but much shorter straightaway. So the boys handle that one more time around the track. We'll get this one started. Pace car will leave very momentarily. Very momentarily. What is Barty doing with that green flag? That's not how you wave it, brother. That's how you wave it. There we go. We are racing KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Heat 1. Travis McDonald, Chris Derrick, Brett Vanderwood, Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, Jesse Coffey, Chris got into the rear of Travis there. Had to check up a lot to try and get unstuck, but was unfortunately slammed by teammate Brett Vanderwood. Going to bring out our first caution of the night. So we get to line this one back up. So they're going to start in a moment. Once they cross the start-finish line here, 1 to go. Oh, no, looks like they might be keeping it single file. Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, Jason Coffey. Oh, no, here we go. Now they're lining it up. Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, front row. Jason Coffey, Brett Vanderwood, second row. And Travis McDonald, third row there. Looks like Chris Andrews still in the pits, 3 laps down. We can see his car in that background, top right corner there. He'll be watching it from turns 1 and 2. Josh Roberts at race leader, Mike Davis second, Jason Coffey currently third. Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald, and Chris Standridge back on the track to rank out the 4th, 5th, and 6th car. White flag lap heat 1 will conclude at the end of this lap. That beautiful head on the top of that 99. There, as you are unaware, that is my a little bit more youthful face on the top of Mike Davis's car. I love that he runs that picture. All right, Heat 1's results as follows. 6th place is it says Outcast, but is now the Yoda Outlaws teammate, Chris Standridge. Jason Coffey for RCI in 5th. Brett Vanderwood, Chris Standridge's team, Yoda Outlaws teammate 4th. Travis McDonald 3rd. Modig Mafia's Mike Davis 2nd, but J&J Motorsports driver Josh Roberts gets the Heat 1 win and the pole position start in our feature race tonight. Now the grid for Heat 2 looks like it is going to be Chad Putterball and Mikey Mixture on that front row. Ken McLean and Brian Angel on that second row. And Kelly McKellen on that third and final row. Same drill, 5 cars, 6 laps. 2 of 3 about to begin. There goes the pace truck. Boys will come out of 4 down the straightaway. They will get to that start finish line and then they will fire. Off we go. Right behind him, using that burn well, probably not as well that time. It did drag him up a bit, but previously was using it sort of just keep him sort of stuck on a rail there for a moment. He's got Mikey Mixture on that high line. Brian Angel, Kelly McKellen back there behind them as well. Spit it out eventually. They are still tightly run with 2 laps to come here. Chad Pubo holding on to that race lead. Ken McLean still running it down low in second. Mikey Mix has fallen back off that pace a little bit. Still third though. Looks like he might have had a bit of a momentum loss as he's caught back up, but had to float up the track, so that's going to upset any build there he had. But Ken McLean in that little run managed to get himself into the race lead, get to the checkered flag just before Chad Puttable. What a race. So much going on there in that second heat. Big two's results ready already. Let's get them on our screens. Callum McKellen for Mo Digging Mafia finished 5th. Mikey Mixter 4th. Go to Outlaws, Brian Angel in 3rd. Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Puttable in 2nd, but Bam Motorsports Kent McLean wins Heat 2. All right, our final heat race for the night. After this, we've got one more feature, and then that is it. Chris Prada and Jim Ravis on that front row. Jonathan Foxworth and Wayne Bridges 2nd. Tina Davis will be on that 3rd and final row. This one, pace truck, there he goes. This one will start in just a moment. Jim Ravis up the front, Wayne Bridges, Jonathan Fox with Tina Davis. They are packing it in tightly there as Jim Ravis moves in to the race lead. Jonathan Fox with down low. Just pulling it back to 3rd with Wayne and Bridges in 4th. Jim, not sure if he was even going to race here tonight. Here he is, leading Heat 3. Jonathan Fox with Chris Prada battling it out. Chris just having to wash a little bit of that speed off. Not enough to get past, but too much risk of contact. Right back down to Wayne Bridges there. Wayne's managed to get past him now. Chris Prada pulling back to 4th on that white flag lap. Tina Davis still running in 5th with Jim Revis. He's going to come into 3, come through 4, exit low. Oh, give a run to that finish line with Jonathan Foxworth. I don't think he was ever going to make it, but that wall hit made it look like that was the reason why. But yeah, that was close. He was going to he had a bit of a run there. Right, Heat 3's results. Tina Davis 5th, Chris Perotta 4th, Wayne Bridges in 3rd. 2nd, though, was the B-Main Bandit, Jonathan the Fox with Debt Warrior Racing, Jim Ravis in 1st. All right, let's get to the grid. This is our last feature for the night. Josh Roberts, Kent McLean. Can't remember who goes to the rig. We'll just call it as it is, and we'll wait to see how they line up. Josh Robertson, Ken McLean on that front row. Jim Rivers, Mike Davis, second row. Chad Puttable, Jonathan Fox with third row. Travis McDonald, Brian Angel on that fourth row. Fifth row is going to be Wayne Bridges and Brett Vanderwood. Sixth row will be Mikey Mixture and Chris Perotta. Seventh row is going to be Jason Coffey and Kelly McKellen. Tender Davis, Chris Sandridge qualified on that eighth final row. So Ken McLean is one of the other. That's right, Kent is one of the drivers to go to the rear. Dawson was the other, but Dawson not here. Just Kent McLean being affected by the rear field rule for the points lead. Alright, this will be the last time down the back stretch. Pace truck will leave the track. We're going to get this 16 car KP Plumbing UMP Modified field at Huset Speedway underway. 35 lap main event. Jim Ravis took out the first one tonight, the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks, who will be our winner of the KP Plumbing UMP Modified. Stay tuned. We're going to find out in 35 laps. Rob's off to a great start there. Jim Ravis is made his way into second. Mike Davis third. Jonathan Foxworth and Chad Puttable fourth and at fifth. As this one looks just as racy as the Dirt Street Stocks. There is no room for error. Cars in all portions of the real estate. Apparently Josh Roberts, Jim Ravis, Jonathan Foxworth, Brian Angel, Travis McDonald, the 5, 6 to 10, Mike Davis, Wayne Bridges, Chad Puttable, Mikey Mixture, Brett Vanderwood, the 11 to 16, Jason Coffey, Ken McLean, Chris Perotta, Kelly McKellen, Chris Danridge, Nina Davis, as our first caution comes out. Looks like it might have been Chris Standridge. Big congratulations to Chris Standridge, recently joining the Yoda Outlaws racing team, joining Mike Butler, Brett Vanderwood, and Brian Angel. Checked up a little bit there to avoid contact. Tried to avoid contact there, but unfortunately, different other cars in the way. Kelly McKellen and the 79, who I believe is Senator Davis. Coming into contact there. Set for our first caution, lap 8 of 35. Will be the restart. Josh Roberts, Jim Ravis, the front row. Jonathan Fox with Brian Angel second. Travis McDonald, Mike Davis third. Wayne Bridges, Chad Puttable fourth. Why is it resetting like that? So let me just finish the word for the scroll. There we go. Fifth row, Mikey Mixture, Brett Vanderwood. Sixth row, It's going to be Chris Pryor and Jason at Coffee. 7th row will be Kelly McKellen and Kent McLean. Chris Standridge and Tina Davis on that 8th row. Of 35. Let's into our racing cams. Josh Roberts, Jonathan Fox, and Travis McDonald at the top at 3. Off to a good start there, but there's Jim Ravis, Brian Angel, Mike Davis is there, Wayne Bridges. Behind them we can see Mike Hughes, Brett Vander with Jason Coffey. I think Chad Football was up in that pack. This is the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds at Huset Speedway. That is such a mouthful for some reason. That's 30 Mikey, mixed Brett Vanderwood, Jason Coffey. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th. There's just behind Jason Coffey, Kent McLean. We can see him as well. Up ahead of Mikey, mixed Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, Brian Angel in the 5th place car. In the track map, that top 4 run, Josh Roberts, Jonathan Foxworth, Travis McDonald, Jim at Revis, they are tightly packed. It does look like sort of each car sort of distracted by the one behind them, so that might be a benefit for Josh. Let's jump up and have a look at that battle. Travis battling for 3rd and 4th at the moment. Jim's got the high line with, oh no! I was going to say with Travis in that low line and Tina Davis in the way, he's going to have to move up or check up. And unfortunately, he came into contact at the halfway mark. So much like the Reece Monument Dirt Street, stocks a caution right around the sort of the halfway mark, the 49-50% mark of this race. It's a bit of a reset for everyone. Josh Roberts leave the race? Looks like he said he's left the race. Let's check something here. I think it's just a glitch. Or has he? I think he has. I think he's just dropped. Yeah, I don't see him coming back on the leaderboard, and that's unfortunate. Whatever's happened there, Josh. Just lost power. There it is in the chat. That sucks, dude. You were going so well too. New front row is going to be Jonathan Foxworth and Jim at Ravis, Brian Angel, Travis McDonald 2nd, 3rd. It's going to be Mike Davis, Wayne Bridges. 4th row, Mikey Mitchell, Ken McLean. 5th, it's going to be Brett Vanderwood, Jason Coffey, Chad Putabile, Chris Standridge on that 6th row. 7th row, Chris Parado, Kelly McCallum, sorry, Tina Davis on that 8th and final row as we get this one back underway. Hopefully you can get that power back on and back into the race, get some wave rounds on the next caution. Josh, get back into it. caution out, lap 21 of 35. Jason Coffey, Brent Vanderwood, Chris Perotta looks like might have been involved in this one. There's Jason Coffey there. Brent Vanderwood just behind him. Coming soon, 8 machine. Yeah, just a little bit of contact there. Spins them both around, and the 27 unable to avoid the pass through. All right, still single file, so I wonder with just about, 14 laps remain, whether I'll do a single file restart. Looks like they are, yeah. Jonathan Foxworth, Jim Ravis, Travis McDowell, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, Kevin McLean, Mark Davis, Mike Christian, Chapman Bob, Helen McKellen, Chris Perotta, Jason Coffey, Brett Vanderwood, Tina Davis. Just 15 cars remain in this field. There looks like wait, was that the 42? Just check the telemetry, that can't quite see where the caution is. It's crashes being recorded that aren't actual crashes. Oh, it might have been the 48, Kelly McKellen. Yeah, it was the 48, there we go. Stick, didn't set, it just went straight up into the wall, shooting straight down the track into the other wall. Of 35 laps in 3 cautions. We've unfortunately lost Josh Roberts due to a power outage. Unfortunately, was racing a fairly great race, was holding the lead for quite some time. Now it's gone up to Jonathan Foxworth, Bimane Bandit, our race leader. Jim Ravis in second place. He's our winner prior tonight with the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks. I'll get it right in a moment. Can he go back to back here tonight? And about it, hold on. Look at Travis McDonald, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, one of those boys that step up and make their way into the top 3. We'll have to wait and see. 25 and 35, so just 10 laps remain after this one. In that 4th place spot, Brian Angel in 5th, Ken McLean had to go to the rear of the field due to the points lead, so he wants into that top 5 to maximise those points. Got the B-Main Bandit and Jim Revis fighting for first and second. Some little stories on the track right now. Real personal battles. So Kellen McKellen, unfortunately, in the pits. Just 14 cars remain on the track. Check now. I'll jump by the map. I think Janet Davis is 79. Just allowing the cars to go past without any concern. Well, we've had some very good racing here tonight. A lot of competitive, very high energy type stuff. Door-to-door action in both divisions. Track map as we come around, and only 2 more laps to go. We're going to jump up to the B-Main Bandit. Jonathan Foxworth washed off a little bit of speed. They got a little bit too set in the turns. That slick got him a bit there. Jim Revis closing that gap a little bit there as we get to the white flag lap. Can he just hold on? There's plenty of distance between them, 3.5 to 5 tenths of a second. Come through 3 and 4 for the last time. You can breathe out in just a moment. Jonathan Foxworth, congratulations. You are tonight's KP Plumbing UMP Modified victor. Jim Revis with a second tonight in this one. So first in the first race, second in the second race. Rubber Teamster, whatever. Goodbye. What a finish. Good race. Poor Josh Roberts, though, losing power like that. Jonathan Foxworth not letting that moment slip and taking out a victory. What a race. Now let's get the results up on our screen. So, yeah, Josh Roberts, JJ Motorsports in 16th. Modig Murphy's Kellen McKellen 15th. Tanner Davis finished 14th. 13th was Brent Vanderwood for Yoda Outlaws. Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Putabol in 12th. 11th, Chris Perotta. RCI's Jason Coffey starts off our top 10 with Modig Murphy's Mike Davis in 9th. It says Outcast, but newest Yoda Outlaws driver Chris Standridge in 8th. Mikey Mixter 7th. Yoda Outlaws teammate Brian Angel in 6th. The top 5, Kent McLean for Bam Motorsports. 4th, Wayne Bridges. Travis McDonald finished 3rd. Dirt Warrior Racing's Jim Revis in 2nd, but the B-Main Bandit Jonathan Foxworth gets the victory. So we'll get his details up on our screen. Let's get on over to the Discord and jump in the winners booth. Now, before we get into all the big interview stuff, and congratulations, Jonathan, that was such a good race. Do you still need a moment to catch your breath? Have you actually realised that you stopped breathing for those last few laps, or how are you feeling?
Oh yeah, I kept looking at the relative, and I was like, okay, he's getting closer, but just hit your marks and make him work for it.
Yeah. Now, Jim Revis also, it looked like in those last few laps, he was really closing that distance on you. And it did look like, I don't know if it was the slick, you might be able to tell us, we won't get to the end of the race first, but at the end there, it did look like either you were setting a little bit too wide and the slick was getting you, or it was just a little bit more wider than you needed. And it looked like you had to sort of tank slap it back into straightness, and it didn't really kill all your speed, but it was washing off a little bit of that momentum, sort of maybe 1.5 tenths gap-wise. Were there any moments there where you were sort of like, I guess, almost overdriving it, trying to make sure that you sort of hit that mark, or was that just the track being, the track?
Yeah, getting in it was weird because it was like there was a cushion there, but before you get to the cushion, it was slick. or at least it felt like to me. So it was like if you back it down and get it turned in so you don't go all the way up to the cushion and you just still in the grip right there. I'm not good at bottom feeding like Kent and Travis and all them guys are, so I much rather hang it to the high side and let her eat.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. Yeah, it's. I was watching a few of those guys, and Kent's one that's really good at it, where they can just sort of set that front left on the infield burn a little bit enough that it just hooks it and just keeps it on a rail. You just keep your foot on, and around you go the turn. Nah, that's too complicated. I'd rather just foot down, turn right to go left, and yeah, highline momentum all the way. But it looked like, and especially both races, very racy fields. We've talked about it before, where I've jokingly said to the winner, "Oh, you've got to pay third or fourth place $5 because their pressure that they put on the car, the car in second." Was sort of what kept them from challenging you, but it was pretty much all the way through the field. Like it was so deep the competition tonight in terms of that. You had Josh up the front for a long time, and he wasn't looking like he was going to let go of any of that. Unfortunately, active nature power went out. We lost him, but that gave you that lifeline. That gave you that shot at the run, and like we see with a lot of guys here, if you're given that opportunity, rarely do you sort of not necessarily take it all the way, but you don't let it slip. You use the most of it as you can. But as I said in the previous interview, I've seen Jim in the past. Turns out a lot more than I thought, and he's a great driver. So seeing him back up there in second, even though he wasn't going to sort of race this one or battling for second with Travis and Wayne and that. Um, I was like, oh, we're going to go back because I don't know if you've noticed. One of the other things is sometimes the new guys, when they come in, they are quite like that. We say beginner's luck, but like Jim's, I think got like 2.8k I rating, so he definitely is a beginner. But you know what I mean? It's that debut's luck where someone will come in and do quite well in the competition on their first night, and I was just like, just hold on, keep that car as wide as possible. I mean, obviously, I like Jim. I wouldn't mind seeing him, any of you guys get a victory, but having you up the front and just knowing how white those knuckles must have been towards the end. That was just they're the runs. They're horrible when you realize you don't realize you've had one until you're right at the end of it, and then you realize that you possibly haven't breathed for about 40, 50 seconds. Your knuckles are white as because you've gripped that wheel tight. But geez, they're fun. Geez, they're fun. You can't manufacture them, but when they happen, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, the when it said 10 to go, I was just like, holy hell! I was like, I got 10 more laps, and then it finally said 2 to go, and I was like, but yeah, that's a big misfortune with Josh, because I mean, I was just gonna ride anyways and just get points. I wasn't gonna try to battle with him or you know end up messing both of us up. I'll take second place any day over one of them guys. So, but yeah, when I seen him disappear, I keyed up and I was like, Josh, you're not here. Josh, you're not here. And then I looked and it said packet loss.
Mm.
I was like, well, all right, well, ball's in my court now, so let's see what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah, and like I say, you can't sort of determine how you get those opportunities, but when you do, you've just got to grab it and run with it and run with it. You did. Now, another thing to point out, obviously, this is your second victory in the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. You actually took out the opening round, Cedar Lake, way back at the start of the competition. But it's a good point where you're talking about just sort of making sure that you were there in the battle at the end, not necessarily the goal. It's always good if you can beat them, but the goal is to just be there at the end. And you've had one of those consistent runs for us. That you've had that first victory at the start of the season, and then everything else has just been a second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever sort of position. But coming into tonight's race, you were you're third in points. It's great to get a victory, and that will lock in some of those bricks as good foundation, but a good consistent run. I mean, in fact, I think you missed a week. You missed 2 weeks ago, Lucas Oil, so you're even a race down in that respect. Um, so it's just a testament to just always, and we joke, you've got the nickname the B Main Bandit, but you're always in the dance. The other joke I used to always have, another friend who was similar. It's like always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but always makes a pretty bridesmaid. And that's sort of describes, I guess, your season as well. It's you're not always right where you want to be, but you are where you need to be in those races. But deserve this win tonight for sure. Once it was all sort of said and done.
Oh yeah, this is uh I guess technically I've won two races by default because the first one
Oh, so
Travis and Kent got into each other, and then this one uh uh Josh dropped dropped, but I guess I'm just always at the right place at the right time.
oh, look, there's if Knuckleheads had a motto, I think it would be I'd rather be lucky than good. Being good is tricky. It's a lot of work, luck. It's you only have to take each race as they come in that respect. And yeah, it's we've had a few like last week. Dawson, obviously last week Dawson picked up his very first victory in the UMP mod in league racing with Knuckleheads in the UMP mods. So it just I feel like Tuesday, Monday night, sorry, US, Tuesday morning Australia, and the Arse Racing Series, the Asphalt Street Stocks on dirt, and the Schuler Racing Series. I feel like they've been for me the racy season this season, the racy night. But tonight, oh my god, you guys, big pat on your back. The Street Stocks, this one, they're two very similar races where there was a couple of cautions in both, but there was that mid-race reset around the halfway point. And there was a lot of good battles going on, and yeah, every victory was earned out there, no matter how it was gotten. So congratulations, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you hosting this
No,
or
that's
broadcasting this, and I mean it's a good group of guys, like I always say. I
it
mean, we
is.
race clean, and if somebody gets into one another, I mean, we apologize, and we know it's not on purpose. I mean, we're just hard racing. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's good to have number
no, it's definitely
three of the season. So, see if we can keep her going. We got
that's
8
it.
weeks left.
Still got 8 weeks left, 5 races a week. So that's math wise. What's five? Why do I not know what 5/8 is? It's like 50 something. No, no, it's not. It's like I don't know, but yeah, still a lot of racing to go. Is my
Oh
point.
yeah.
A lot of wins. Math's not my strong point. Um, all right, no, my brain's fried. I've been. I don't know how you guys are going. I know with me personally with daylight savings, I'm much better acclimatized to when it ends than I do than when it starts. Trying to get used to that, losing the extra hour. So when I started this morning, I was all ready to go, 10:30 my time, but because of the daylight savings finish in America, its races are now instead of 10:30, 11:30 my time, they're 11:30, 12:30. So yeah, it's got me a little scattered. So I don't know how you guys adjust with the extra hour getting it back. I feel like that ends not so bad because you get the extra sleep in and whatnot, but
Oh
always
yeah.
confuses me daylight savings and being different around the world.
It was nice tonight because all the kids went to bed early.
Always a good moment. All right, my man. Look, you've spoken a little bit about people you're thankful for and stuff, but friends, family, sponsors, who do you need to give the big shout outs for making all this possible?
Uh, MTR Farms, uh, Will Cochran Racing, Mac Tools, Brown Heating and Air, my wife, uh, all of us that get on here after hours and get on here and practice a little bit. I mean, every little bit helps. I mean, all of us are getting better, and some of us can dodge the wrecks better than the others, but it's working.
It is. It's a bit of something for everyone. Obviously, in the perfect world, we'd love it if it just went green to from go to woe, and the racing was great. But even the pros can't do that. So no, and then just off the record, I like it makes for good viewing at my side as well. Who doesn't like a good crash? But no, some great racing tonight. If tomorrow night's usually the most raciest nights, then this tonight just set the bar very high. So looking forward to that. Well, best of luck with the racing. The rest of the racing week, still 3 more races to go. As I say, the us Racing Series, Asphalt Street Stocks on dirt, along with the Schuler Racing Series, and then wrapping it up with the Motorway International Limited late models. Obviously, we'll have you in the booth whenever we can, my man. Like I said, everyone, that part is entirely in your hands. So I know it won't be too long between chats, but best of luck with everything else you've got going on, and congratulations yet again.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Have a good night. Bye.
You too, sir.
All right, that was Jonathan Foxworth, our one of two winners here tonight. He won the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Jim Ravis took out the Reece Monument Dirt Street. So I said, why I struggle with that name so much? You think I'd be used to it by now. Grum Chum in the chat. YouTube, I'm your biggest fan. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Well, that wraps up another broadcast. So tomorrow night, the Wayne's World Racing Series, along with the Schuler Racing Series, and then wrapping up the racing week with the Motor International late models the night after. Behalf of the drivers and, pardon me, Knuckleheadz iRacing League. Thank you so much for tuning in. The shout outs go out to for the likes and the shares. Thomas Dennis, Josh Roberts, Brian Angel, Kelly McKellen, Chris Perrotto, Dawson Potter, and Chris Standridge. The chatters, sometimes it resets, so if I do miss you, I apologise. But Brian Angel, Flieger Farm TV, Chris Dandridge, Vicky Schuler, Thomas Dennis, Dan Runkle, Anthony Morano, Sip Chat Play. We had all the legends in the chat tonight. The UCPD 724. Who else? There's a couple others. Josh Roberts, Chris Dandridge, Brian Angel. And, of course, our biggest fan, Grumchum 614. Thank you so much, guys. Well, we'll be back again tomorrow, 11:30 Australian time, not 10:30 like normal. So an hour later start than usual for a little while. I think until April, actually. I'll have to double check the calendars. But, yeah. That's another episode of BobbethTV in the bags. Thank you so much for watching. You know the drill. Love yous all. Bye.